Welcome back to Fairfax Pilates. I'm Brittany, and today's workout is going to be all on the tower. We are going to do a full body routine, lots of challenging moves, but all levels for sure. So go ahead and get yourselves ready to go, and let's begin. All right, we are going to start with our roll down bar. Have a seat facing the vertical frame. Knees are bent, and we're going to have an overhand grip here. Scoop the tail under and roll back to get down deep into the lower back. And we're going to do small crunch-like movements here. Every time you roll backwards, concentrate on tucking the tail under or doing that posterior tilt of the pelvis. You'll feel how it stretches through the lower back and starts to tone immediately through the lower tummy. We're going to focus here at the beginning on some mobility work. So stay in that crunch and let's draw the bar in towards the chest 8 times. Last couple. And then from here, arms stay straight and we're going to just go down all the way down. All right, scooch those feet in closer and let's do a bridge. And then we melt down top to tail. This is a take on the breathing exercise on the full Cadillac. So we're just doing this backwards to add more resistance on the lats and less on the neck here. So we are articulating tail to top again, focusing on the mobility of our spine. Exhale, we squeeze up. And then we add that chest row here. Maintain the lift of the glutes. Those parallel lines are being hugged with the inner thighs here, and we're just doing that upper row. And squeeze. Good, and one more time, and then down we go. All right, from here, we're gonna come up and we are gonna flip the grip. So now we have an underhand grip, and we have a bit of a bicep curl isometric shape here, and we're doing that same flexion of the lower back. So really concentrating on how we can create mobility through the lumbar area to facilitate a lot of the moves we're going to do here. It's great if your low back is feeling stiff or if you just want to warm up the lower core. So we're going to hold still here and we're just shifting in and out from tabletop to long, making your emphasis on the curve of the spine and the stillness of the bicep curl. We want to just keep the connection there. Let's change the legs. Now, we are using that roll down bar, so these springs are no joke here. They are getting heavy, so feel free to take a break with the arms and rebend if needed. And lots of strength here in the forearms as well. Now, find that tabletop position, and we're doing like a miniature version of rolling like a ball. How slow can you go? You're really just rolling over that lumbar area. So we're scooping and rocking back gently, and then we're breathing in as we return up. Forearms are warm here. We're really building a lot of strength in the wrist, as well as stretching out the lower backs. It actually feels wonderful too. Okay, and then we're gonna come all the way up. All right, let's keep using that bar, but we're gonna flip around, and now we're gonna do some reverse crunches, also known as airplane here. So we're gonna get the knees over the bar like a trapeze, and then space yourselves out in arm's distance at least from the vertical frame, and keeping the legs in that tabletop. Now we're doing that similar motion, but with the tension coming from the opposite direction. So notice how your grip is on the vertical frame. You want to keep a loose grip so that you're not straining through the neck, and just really isolate the lower abs. So now we're gonna just stay up, and it's like we're almost pressing into a bridge. You're gonna squeeze your glutes and press the legs away from you, trying towards a straight line here. You'll feel that glutes and hamstrings very awake at this point, lower abs definitely activated, and then coming down. Okay, so we're gonna sort of put some of this together here, rounding up. Okay, we're gonna come up all the way, and then let's just get these little pulses at the top. So really think mid upper abs here, doing a lot of that thoracic flexion. 7, and one more time, and then let's rotate. So we're staying in that floating flexion, and we're adding that rotation at the pelvis to really just incinerate those obliques right there at the hip joint. And then lowering our way back to the mat. Okay, now lift up, and we're gonna flex down. Squeeze the butt and come up, almost feeling like you're in a straight line. We really want to utilize the upper abs to float up, and then we control with flexion as we come back down. And then we're going to stay in that more of a stiff position, just really working the upper abs, not really allowing the legs to move at the hip joint or the knee, and we're just hinging up and down from the upper abs. And that is your true airplane. Carefully, let's take the knees off the trapeze, but before we do, hold it for a stretch. So I like to place it just behind the calves there, and then just play around with the feet a little bit, pointing and flexing at the ankles, and really getting that length through the back of the legs. I always squeeze in stretches wherever possible in the routine. Okay, and then let's go ahead and bring ourselves up. We are going to change things around a bit, so let's get rid of this bar. We are going to keep the springs, but we're going to ditch the bar, and instead we're going to bring our handles onto those springs. So still using the black springs, but we're going to put the handles from the arm springs on, so we have a lot of support for our standing exercises. Okay, step back quite a bit. We're going to do a combination squat row. So as you sit, put yourselves in an imaginary throne here. So you want to have a 90-degree bend of the knee and a 90-degree angle at the hip. In a perfect world, your shoulders are right above your hips, your knees are right above your ankle joint, and as you're bending your arms in that bicep curl, your elbows are the shoulder height. We're going to get about 8 to 10 of these squats, really driving through the heel of the foot to make sure you can use your glutes here. Now, one foot tippy toe, let's pulse it out here, right? And those thighs, 5, 6, 7, 8, switch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then let's go ahead and scoop the tummy in, pelvic tucks. Hello, we are back at the bar classes here. So we're scooping under, lots of low core, lots of low back stretching. It feels amazing. Bonus, biceps are in isometrics. Okay, and then we're gonna step a little closer. I use the seam of the two mats as a gauge. Soften the knees, flex the spine, and we're just plowing the arms straight back. So we're sweeping the arms behind us here. Keep the tail tucked under. 7, one more time, pressing back and then moving to triceps from here. Exhale, press, and inhale, bend. Last couple, and then we straighten all the way back up. All right, from here, let's go ahead and change things around a bit. We are going to use our leg spring for some sideline work. Space out an arm's distance from the vertical frame, shoulders, ribs, and hips stacked. We're going to take that top leg forward at hip height, inhaling your way to the front, and then exhaling to pull it back. Making sure your back remains neutral. We don't want to have any change in the spine as your leg travels front or back. We're going to get 8 here of that single leg kick. Okay, and then on 8, we're going to leave the leg in line with our hip, and let's get some plate-sized circles. 6, 7, and 8, and then we go in reverse. 2, 3, and 4, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then we're going to just let that leg drape all the way down. Enjoy a nice, lovely spine twist while we're at it. So we're ready for the other side. Go ahead and turn over, top foot in the leg spring, Space out an arm's distance from the frame. And let's begin. Take that top foot forward, maintain hip height as you travel to the front, and then squeeze straight to the back. We want to make sure that you're not arching through the lower back. In fact, you want to try to keep everything in your shirt nice and still. Inhale forward, exhale back. 8 of these. And then we're going to start those circles. 5, 6, 7, and we reverse it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Spine twist to finish it off. Allow that arm to just open, palm up, and really just take advantage of that lovely spine twist. All right, and then from here, we're just going to transfer onto our back, and let's get both feet in the straps now. All right, now I do have the shoulder blocks on the machine here. That's okay if you don't. Notice I'm just keeping my elbows a little bent. In fact, you don't really even need the arms behind you. Just make sure your body is not sliding. Inhale, the legs come up, and then exhale, they go down. We want to keep our back nice and straight the whole time here. Now laterally rotate, and we'll continue with lift and lower. Lift on inhale, exhale down. Nice and easy here. So after we do parallel, we do turnout, we're going to move into our bend and stretch exercise next. So just get a few in each of the directions with the legs, maintaining that the low back is stationary. And then we bend in and we point and push forward. Bend in on the inhale breath, and then exhale, we press forward into the resistance of the springs. Seven, and one more, into stag. One leg straight off to the side while the other knee bends. The challenge here is really in keeping the rest of the body nice and stable as you have this asymmetric pull with these individual springs extra. Harder on the tower, of course, than on the reformer, just because the legs are sort of on their own there with these independent springs. All right, little circles. We have a slight internal rotation at the legs here. 6, 7, and 8, and then we're gonna go in reverse. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now shuffle, start to climb up a hill. And this should make those inner thighs actively warm here. So we're just taking fast baby steps up towards the top, and then a slow return back to the bottom. I sometimes count, and sometimes I just do this until I feel like my legs are warm enough on the inner thighs. Listen to your body here. We don't need to go crazy on the inner thighs, but we do want some warmth there. All right, now we're going to go into our little bit of a stretch here. I gently rock into that happy baby position. And then we are actually going to flip over prone and really encourage a lot of stretch and opening through our hip flexors. So we're gonna flip over, and you're gonna take those same leg springs and let's place them on the foot. Okay, and once you're down here, let's space out an arm's distance from the vertical frame. Okay, now my knees are wide and my feet are together, and I'm going to just extend my legs out straight. So a nice slow controlled extension of the knees. Obviously you can see there it really lifts up my pelvis. This feels amazing through the quads and the hip flexors, but if that is too much for your backs, try not to extend the legs completely. And try it with a parallel alignment. Much more restrictive on the lower back, but it feels a bit different on the quads and the knees. So again, listen to your bodies here. I am maintaining that dorsiflexion of the feet so that I don't feel like I'm losing the straps there. Okay, and then I'm gonna just hold it up there, and I'm going into beats. point 2, 3, 4, flex 2, 3, 4. So this is very similar to the beats here that you have on the mat work, but we've got a lot of resistance here, and then turn it into that little swimming and in and out here. All right, now let's go ahead and take a lovely stretch. We're gonna just bend the knees here, and I'm gonna lift up with one foot and of course the other. And then let's add a little bit of a bigger movement. So we're gonna send the leg up and rotate through the body. And then we're gonna do that with the opposite side as well. Feels really great. Now, hard to get this strap off of there, so kind of work that how you can. Try not to overstrain as you're trying to get your leg out of the strap. From here, why don't you go ahead and enjoy a nice little swan, and then we're gonna take this into our rocking swan. Legs down, chest up, legs up, chest down. So we're gonna keep doing that rock, staying with that opening through the front of the thighs and the hip flexors like we just did. And then let's just go ahead and find ourselves into that lovely plank, and then push back into a bit of a down dog where we're pedaling our feet. Get that stretch through the calves. Okay, perfect. So we are going to remove our shoulder blocks if you had them on, and we are going to actually use the push through bar with no springs attached for what I love to call hamstring torture. Start close in bridge position, arches of the feet on, and we're going to lift. The biggest challenge in here is not moving that vertical frame. It wants to live, or not the vertical frame, the push through bar. It wants to live between the vertical frame. So try not to let it move. We want to push those legs out, but try to keep it pretty stable. Pulses here at the top. My arms are overhead for added oblique challenge. All right, now give yourselves just a little recovery there in the hamstrings. It is a lot. All right, so now with our butts down, just work the movement here, backwards and forwards. That's what we're going to be doing in our bridge. So get a few practice reps in. Here it comes, bridging up and pull. So hamstrings on fire here. 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then take it down. All right, let's just go ahead and stretch those legs out just a little bit. Okay, and then we are going to change things around quite a bit here. We're going to need to attach one of the blue springs to the top so that we can use the push through bar with one of the blue springs here. I'm just putting my handles back on the arm springs because we will be using those here shortly. So one blue spring attached from the top here. And then we're going to go into some thoracic mobility exercises. We'll be on our backs. Okay, make sure the bar starts right over the chest here as you begin. Okay, and then we're going to do some crunches. So that half teaser here. Scoop through the tail and articulate down. Yep, we're going to go about halfway down, and then we're scooping and rising up. So hopefully you're noticing a theme here with Pilates and this tower workout in particular, where we've got a lot of mobility of the spine exercises happening. Stay nice and low, where we're really working through the hard to move place, and then just find a still spot, single leg stretch. And then if you want to make that harder, you can pull that bar towards you, and you have a lot more core strength required. And then go ahead and take it all the way down. Okay, so the bar should be right over the chest. We're gonna rise up right into that teaser, and then lower down and take the bar behind. Once you see the bar, tuck the head, find teaser. Slow going all the way down. And then right back up. So we're gonna get down to that sort of hollow body hold, and then we're right back up So we're adding additional layers of challenge here. Coming right back up into that teaser. Now find your balance. We're going to do it without the bar if possible. Hollow body hold, pause, and then right up, touch the bar, teaser. Scoop, roll, halfway hold, up, teaser. Again, scoop and rock back, right back up. This is the third final, grabbing the bar, and then take it all the way down. All right, so we're tucking our knees in, one hand behind the head. Here's that rotation I was referring to earlier, so that thoracic rotation. Pants are steady, and we're just rotating that upper body. Now, opposite leg up. So we're gonna rise up towards the opposite straight leg 4 times, exhale across, and once more across. Now add the leg. So we're crunching and we're lifting the leg. You should feel that internal oblique from the hip to the opposite rib cage. And then we'll change sides, of course, so overhand grip, one hand behind the head, and we just start with the rotation first, nice and easy, just really just going for mobility. We have to be mobile and strong, so we do both. And then a long leg, thigh to thigh. 3, and one more time, 4. And then from here, we're going to lower the leg and lift in unison. And 3, 2, and one more time here. Perfect. And then we take it down. All right, let's go ahead and rise all the way up. Here we go. We're going to flip around for our saw. So one arm is going to let go and engage for that lateral stretch, and then take the hand around to the opposite frame and actively press up for saw. Feels so lovely. Take the opposite hand back 3 times per side here. Stretch, and then around and actively drive it up. Going to do a third and final time here. Stretch it out, and then rotate through. All right, so now we'll change sides here. Stretching back and around, opening the waist. And then we go around, grabbing the opposite side frame, driving the push-through bar up. 3 per side, reaching back. And then around and up. 2. And then one more time, take it all the way back. And then we take it around, going for that full spinal rotation here. All right, now we're going to take the bar and we're going to push it down, placing our feet on the bar, right on the arches of the foot, and then lower down. You want that bar to start between the vertical frame there, and then we're bridging in the legs and up, squeezing through the glutes and rising up, and then melting down from the top of our spine down to the tail, 1 vertebrae at a time, and then bending the knees and pushing the legs back where they came from. Let's do that again. Inhale, up we go with the legs and butt, and then a slow release all the way back down, bending the knees and pushing it through. One more, in and up. 3, 2, 1, we bend the knees, and we bend, we bend, we bend, and they're straight, and again, 2, 3, and straight, and then sequence down from our top to our tail all the way back down to the mat, and then we push the legs out. Good. In and up we go with the legs, squeezing all the way to the top. 1 leg comes off, 2, 3 times, 2 feet on the bar, switch, and 2, and 3, 2 feet on the bar, down we go through the center of the spine, all the way to the bottom, push the legs through. We do that again on the other leg to start, squeezing all the way to the top, and we pull, 2, 3, and pull, 2, 3, and third, 2, 3, 2 feet on the bar, switch, and we hamstring curl it in, and 1, 2, 3, final 2, 3, and then we sequence our way back to the mat. All right, let's keep the legs long and do a nice roll up all the way over. Hold on to the bar along with the feet and just enjoy that stretch. You want to have the bar right between the uprights here for this reverse monkey. So go ahead and get that stretch. Make sure the bar is right in between the vertical frame. Do a gentle rock back, and then we're going to push those legs up. Sink the heels for calf stretch and Achilles. And it's always a fun challenge to see if you can get the bar back down. So really use those core strength and get the bar back down with your feet still on it. Okay, good. And then let the feet float off and carefully get out of there. All right, we're done with that push through bar, and we are now going to use those arm springs. Let's bring the arm springs around to the front. The yellow springed with the handles are the arm springs. So we're going to bring those around to the front. And we're going to stay kneeling. Let's face away from the tower and start with some front rowing. Send the arms straight up. Exhale forward, inhale, return. So I'm on a V2 max here. The springs are about number 7 or 8, 7. One more time, hold it up here, and we'll go into hug a tree from there. So thumbs go up, we widen, and then close the hands together. Keep your body still in space, lots of core. Last couple. And then I'm gonna bring the elbows in for chest pressing. This can be done with the springs under the arms as well, but just for fluidity, I just kept going there with the springs on top of the arms. And 8 times here, and then take it all the way in. Now, coming out quite a bit here for that extended bicep curl. You want to get that stretch when the arms are long, so you're getting that eccentric contraction with a lot of resistance. And 8. Very good. Now, if you can, we're going to take those arms all the way up for triceps. Now, this is no joke resistance here all the way out. Do what you can here. If you need to scoot back, have at it. 6. These are independent arms. 7 and 8. And then a slow release all the way back down. And then we're just going to reset. Okay, very nice. So finishing with just a wee bit of mat work for side planks here. Let's just do some hip drops. So keeping that shoulder girdle nice and supported. 7 and 8, and then we're gonna just hold 10 seconds approximately. Really just feel solid and strong on that shoulder. And then we're changing sides. So we're in that side plank. Drop and lift, drop and lift. Get that mobility of the pelvis, lots of strength. And then we're gonna hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we are done there. All right, guys, so just do your abbreviated mermaid here, side bending, maybe a little rotation down. And then we're, of course, going to do that on the other side. Perfect. And that will wrap things up for today. I hope you enjoyed our class today. If you'd like to see more tower classes like this, don't forget to like the video, leave us a comment, share with a friend, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much and have an amazing day, guys. See you next time.